I am graduate student at NYU. For this semester, I'm taking digital forensics with Professor Joe Fernandez. For the final project, I chose to implement one of new feature requests for Autopsy software. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to download and install the Autopsy software. And once the software installed on your system, I will show you how to build and run the software. And after that, I'm going to talk more about software implementation. And finally, I will talk about how to test the software. Okay, so what's wrong with the Autopsy HTML report right now? Currently, the Autopsy software provides no option to set day and time format when you try to generate a HTML report. Autopsy automatically generates HTML report with day and time in 24-hour format, which is very inconvenient. You cannot select different day and time format. On November 21st, 2014, a feature request was submitted, and it requests to provide option to set different day and time format for generating the HTML report. If you want to find out more about this feature request 975, you can visit the website. I have a link on my slide, so you can go there and take a look. Back in July, I did some research on the day and time format that currently used in the US. I saw an article on Wikipedia, a day and time notation on the in the notation in the US. So below are the common day and time format used in the US. Look at the table. On the first column is the day format. So we have a different 12 different day format. The year you can go first and then followed by the month and the day, and the month can go first and followed by the day and the year, and the day can go first and followed by the month and the year. The second column is the common time format for that we use in the US. Like we use a semicolon to separate the hour, the minute, and the second, and we don't use anything at all. Just use hour, minute, and second sit next to each other. The last column is a 12-hour or 24-hour notation. Alright, so before you can develop the software, you need to download two very important pieces of software and install on your system. The first important software is the JDK. I use a JDK 1A release 51 32-bit. I recommend you to use 32-bit because I first tried to use 64-bit and I got a lot of compilation error. I could not figure out to get rid of the compilation error. I finally get up and I tried 32-bit. To my surprise, all the error went away. So I recommend you to use 32-bit instead of 64-bit. The next very important piece of software is the Apache N. You can use a version 195 or later version. I have a link on my slide, so you can go there and download the software. Optionally, you can download and install the NetBeans. You can use any text editor to edit the file, but it's much easier to develop the Autopsy with NetBeans, especially when you try to generate the UI. So I also have a link to the website, so you can go there and download the software. Alright, so after we install the JDK and the Apache N, so now we're ready to download the Autopsy and SleuthKit software. So I have a link on my slide, so you can go there and download the software. In addition to download the source code, you also need to download the release software. I recommend you to download the release software too, because it can save you a lot of time, especially when you don't have a C++ compiler on your system. So go and download this the release software. Alright, so now after we download all the software on your system, now we're ready to install the software. So we need to install the JDK first and Apache and next. I'm not going to discuss in detail how to install this software because it's very easy to install this software. I'm going to discuss more about how to install the Autopsy and Slewkit source code and release software. After you download, you will see that you got 3 zip files, one for Autopsy source code, one for Slewkit source code, and one for Slewkit release software. So unzip the 3 zip files into the C drive, and you install the Autopsy by clicking on the installer, Autopsy 313 installer. After you unzip 3 zip file into your C drive, you can see you have the Autopsy develop, which is the Autopsy source code. You also see the Slewkit develop is a source code for Slewkit, and you also see the Slewkit 413 Win32. That's the release software for Slewkit. And if you go to program file, and you will see a folder called Autopsy 313. That's the release software of Autopsy. Alright, so now you're ready to set up the environment. So in order to build the software or run the software, you need to set up 3 environment variables. They are the JDK home, the TSK home, and then GS stream path, and the lib EWF home. So you need to set these environments before you can do any build. So if you want to verify that you successfully set these environment, you can open command prompt window, and when you're there, you can enter env command at the prompt and hit enter, and then it will show all the environment variable on the console window. Okay, so now you're ready to build the TSK library. Autopsy software use TSK data model from Slewkit software, so you need to build the TSK data model before you can build the Autopsy software. So to do that, let's go back to our Windows Explorer and go to Slewkit developer, go to binding, and go to Java, and then you open a command prompt, and when you're there and you enter command end, and then hit enter. It will take about 10 seconds to build the TSK data model. Once it's finished, you can see it's in the distribution folder under Slewkit development. Autopsy software also use TSK GenI library from Slewkit. So in order to build the software, you need to copy the TSK GenI DL file to a folder released in a Slewkit develop. You can build the library by yourself, but if you don't have a C++ compiler, it takes a lot of time to do it, So for me, I just download the release software, and I just use the release library. In order to do that, you need to